All right. I think so far there isn't anyone who speaks Spanish anyway, so or only speaks Spanish. So
Hola.
yeah, hola,
Hola.
hola, buenos días.
Buenas noches.
Mi amor.
Noches. It's already evening. Yeah. Okay. I don't. Okay. So what's this about? Not really about anything. That's the good news. So there's just nothing to reach or to become or to attain, because what apparently happens is just naturally everything. It's just whole and complete, sitting in front of a screen and feeling and thinking and the computer and all that stuff. That's just naturally whole and complete. Of course, it's unknowable, because there isn't anyone separate experiencing it, but it's whole and complete. It's everything in that sense. In the person's experience, this doesn't seem to be everything. It seems to be just a part of something bigger, a moment in my life, a situation in the world, one circumstance, one place, while there are many other places now, while there is also yesterday and tomorrow and stuff like that. So one step on the path towards fulfillment. In that sense, this isn't everything. And the hope is not, and the assumption is that there is something more. And of course, it's also the hope that there is something deeper, something more special, something more real, and stuff like that. All of that is part of the person's experience, so to speak, that this isn't everything and that there is something else to be found. So what this message points to is not trying to find a solution for this assumption. It's not trying to convince anyone of there being another reality or that this is everything. Because what it also means that this is everything and that there is no separation means that there just isn't anyone who is separate. This experience to be something or someone which is separate is illusory. It doesn't have any substance at all. In that sense, there are no parts at all. There is no part. I am is not something that exists and is a part, and all the other parts aren't parts, so to speak. What this message points to, apparently, is that there isn't anyone in the first place, that this whole divided reality is completely dreamt. It doesn't have any substance at all. And in that sense, there is no teaching. There isn't anyone separate. There isn't anyone there who could take even one step. There is no step from illusion to truth, from unclarity to clarity, from not being liberated to being liberated, and all that things. This would all be part of the dream. It's this. All there is this. All there is what apparently happens. And it's just automatically, naturally whole and complete. No one needs to realize this. There is also no step from now not realizing this to then having realized it. All of that isn't needed. All of that does not exist on the one hand, and all of that isn't needed on the other hand. All right, that's it. I'm sorry for everyone who was waiting for the translation of this. But...
Hi, Andreas.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Good.
I've got a couple of things. The first one is, since nothing causes the sense of self to fall away or no longer appear, you could also say nothing causes anything.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
So in terms of like at these meetings, there can be for some people a resonance with what you're sharing.
That's what seems to be happening.
And I had this whole story that the resonance is coming from somewhere, like you or this energy you're sharing, and then it lands somewhere which is a here. But also all I can say is that at these meetings, there can be a resonance.
Apparently, yes. Yeah.
Okay, and then
I can translate a little bit. Moi, je me suis fait parce que je fais ce câble dans une minute.
Okay. Okay, one moment. I have to. Good. All right. Okay, we can go on.
okay, and then the second thing I was going to ask about is one time, maybe it was a few weeks ago, I was talking to you on the phone, and you were saying that if I saw you like in your life, how you are day to day, I might be surprised how ordinary you are.
You might be disappointed how.
No,
Yeah.
did you say disappointed? I thought you said like. Anyway, yeah, he said that I might be like surprised at how ordinary you are in terms of you can have a good mood, you can have laughing, then there could be like grumpiness, then there could be anger, then there could be more laughter and stuff.
Irgendwas anderes geht schon. Ja.
Okay, so you were saying that there could be all these different moods within a day.
Yes, absolutely.
That are ordinary, like grumpiness to joy to anger to whatever else.
Oh, totally, of course. Yeah.
So my question is, when the apparent self drops or it no longer appears, everything goes on as before, but is the difference that there's no longer someone trying to control everything?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. There's no one there experiencing it and trying to control it. Yeah, totally.
Right. I get that bit about not trying to control it, but I can't get the bit about not experiencing it.
Exactly, that goes together. Not trying to, not controlling it is still kind of understandable, but it's basically automatically uncontrolled because there isn't anyone experiencing it at the first place.
So it's just none of it is seen as a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in that sense of, because I've heard it said not by you but by other speakers that whatever's happening isn't a problem. So even if a problem arises, there's not a problem with that,
so to speak. Yes. Yeah.
So let's just say 1 minute there's laughter and joy, and then 5 minutes later there's grumpiness or anger, whatever it is. Then there's no narrative about things just got worse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one could say so. Yeah.
It was going so well, and
yeah. No, it never goes well also. Exactly. Yeah. The story completely drops that things are going well or that things are not going well. That I'm on a path, that there is this movement where things are going in a certain way. Yeah. I don't experience myself to be in this movement through time, so to speak.
I really do sense or resonate with this freedom. Like, it's strong in what you're sharing, the feeling of the freedom or whatever it is, but I can't get at it in any way. So
because it's already like that. It's not a state that I'm in. This whole thing isn't moving. This whole thing isn't on a path towards something else. So it's exactly what happens. And apparently including you feeling how you feel. And including your assumptions about how it is and all that stuff. That is already the completion that we talk about.
I just think to myself, when you're sharing that, why do I love hearing this so much? But at the same time, there's so much frustration with the experience that sounds amazing, but I'm not there. And I can't, like...
Yeah, there's no answer. Yeah.
But it's nice to listen to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andreas, can I ask something else?
Please.
So the surprise then is that nothing changes in the sense of what the me expects needs to change.
Yeah, one could say so, yeah.
Everything's just as ordinary as it always was. Because I don't know about everyone, but for me, and I expect this is fairly common, the me thinks when the self drops, there's going to be fireworks, it's going to be special, it's going to be whatever. Some people might think I'm going to be in a state of eternal happiness, which I used to.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is something that I'll know and that I'll be aware of. Yeah.
And then the surprise is that all those big changes that me thought would happen don't necessarily happen, or even if they do, they're not needed.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, this whole world is dreamt. I'm on a path and something needs to change, and that there is something in the first place that is in a certain way. I mean, that's all of the dream. Yeah. And it's pretty indescribable how it is when that turns out to be a dream. Yeah.
I love hearing this so much, and I just get more and more frustrated.
Oh yeah, I mean, in a way, that's the person's frustration. What it wants is right in front of its eyes, but it can't get it. That's the frustration. It's surrounded by it. It is even it, but it can't get it. Yeah. That's the joy, and seen from the person, the frustration.
So when the sense of self,
And even this frustration is the joy, so to speak.
but the me thinks it isn't.
Yeah.
It's not the frustration. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is part of, that's mean to say, but I just want to say, which is part of the joy. Well,
that's why you do the meetings. You can have a laugh.
But not for anyone. Not for anyone.
No, because even like a lot of the frustration that the me has, I'm like, I need to get to. Obviously, that would drop if there wasn't anyone there. But you could still get pissed off and frustrated. Say for example,
Totally, of course, yeah.
Someone could block your car in, and then you can't get out of the parking space or whatever. That's just an example I thought of. But whatever it is, could piss you off and get frustrated. But there's no one thinking, "Oh, frustration's wrong or worse than something else."
Yeah, one could say so. Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much I intellectualize and tell myself I get this.
Yeah, that's true.
Great. Okay.
There's no connection to understanding these.
No, otherwise me and probably a lot of other people would have become liberated ages ago. If it was about concepts.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, there is no one to be liberated and all that,
Hello, Andreas, and
Hi.
everyone else. This thing you say many times, there is no experiencing. You said it a moment ago. Is it possible to express that in some other way? Could you say there is experiencing but no experiencer? Would you say this is completely misunderstanding to you?
I think so, yes. I mean, in the end, there is no right or wrong way of saying it. I mean, one could say the body experiences, but this sounds also a bit technical, I think. But in a way, of course, the body experience, or the body lives. The body feels, the body sees, the body thinks, the body hears. But to me, experiencing is just this being aware of from a separate standpoint.
Mm.
And in a way, in many, or there are some ideas, some spiritual ideas, and they say, well, there is no real person, but all there is experiencing, for example. But still they refer to this awareness thing, because they think pure awareness is not a person, it's just neutral, and there is this just being aware of taking place, pure experiencing, pure being alive. So I wouldn't say that this experience, apparently, but to me this word just belongs to this separate setup in a way. But that's just how it's here.
Yeah, I understand it. That is natural for you, and I'm not trying to change it, but I'm trying to, because this creates more confusion than other, things you say, so to speak. So I would like, I'm trying to get some more viewpoints. So it's separation and creating a story. That is, part of
Yeah,
the experiencing. When you say experiencing, you mean there is a separate standpoint is needed, and maybe also creating a story.
creating a story in the end would already be a symptom of that.
Okay, yeah. So the fundamental thing is this separation. That is
Exactly.
the core of when you say there is no experience, because there is no separation.
Exactly.
That is okay.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. It's being aware of. That's what I would call as experience. And I'm here and I'm experiencing the pain. And automatically the pain is separate. I mean, conceptually, people would say it's not separate because it's connected through experiencing. But in the actual experience, there is me and the pain, which is something else.
So the way you speak, that it becomes meaningless to say there is pain and there is the experience of pain. That is just the same thing,
So to speak.
so to speak. Yeah. And the house also, there is no house and someone seeing the house. There is just
the
the
house.
appearance of a house.
And apparently the seeing of a house and the thinking about the house, stuff like that. But it's not, there is no separation in that at all. There is also no experience of me seeing the house, of the house, something that is being seen and all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Andreas, I've got another question. So one of the things that I find, because I have a very strong need for control, and I know that's connected to the sense of self or part of the bundle or whatever it is. One of the things I often tell myself is, if this doesn't work out, there'll be another opportunity coming soon. But really, you're saying this isn't moving towards anything, this isn't going anywhere. So there's no other opportunity coming.
Yes, and this already isn't an opportunity. Yeah, I mean, that's the person's experience. I'm now here. There is this moment, this situation, and this is an opportunity to get something. And in the person's experience, life is one more moment, and the next moment is coming, and the next moment again seems to bring an opportunity to find something, and then the next moment. So the person is constantly assuming that things are really happening and that there is a next moment. But that never happens. It's a total dream that this is something that happens now and that there will be future happenings. That there is something happening, that yeah, tomorrow will come or a next moment.
This is great what you said about this is an opportunity to get something now, because I was just thinking in terms of the future, but it's already experienced. So I'm in this meeting, this is an opportunity to get something, but then since I don't have control, well, if it doesn't happen here, at least there's a meeting on tomorrow or whenever the next day, there's another opportunity coming. I need to, yeah, but it's you're right, it starts with this is an opportunity now to get.
The rest are just symptoms. That's why all those teachings about there is no future and there is no past, they don't work, because the dream starts with I'm now here experiencing something. That's it sounds a bit weird now, but in a way that's the root of it. And the rest are just follow-ups or symptoms, thinking about the future, stuff like that. Living in stories, analyzing the stories.
And so what you said about the dream is that there's something now happening.
That there is an experiencer who experiences happening itself and a general happening, so to speak.
So if there's no experiencer,
Yeah.
is there something happening?
Oh, without the experience, so there isn't even something which could understand the question. Who do you speak to?
So if you finish this meeting and you go to see your partner and your son, and say you have dinner together or watch a program together or whatever you do, there's no experience of that being something happening.
Yes, exactly.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, of course not. I mean, that's what I'm saying all the time. Yeah,
But you
totally. Of
spend
course, it doesn't
time
happen.
with
It's not
your
real. It's not something that happens.
What the? Sorry about my language. You spend time with your family.
No, I don't. That's the problem.
You do. What are you talking about, Andreas? I don't get it.
I'm not spending time with anyone. I'm not there to do so.
They might hear that.
Oh no. But my son is not at home, so.
Phew. If you're not there, nothing's happening.
Exactly. Yeah. Or the only thing which experience is happening is the me, which is illusory.
I don't get it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not spending time with you right now.
I'm heartbroken.
But okay. Maybe it's better. Well, don't go there.
But
Okay.
the dream is that I'm spending time with someone.
Yeah, that's the dream. That
There's
you
no
are
one
now
there.
here and that you experience something. I mean, experiencing is also spending time with feelings, situations, people.
So, because I think, okay, I'll talk to Andreas. He says he's no one, so I'm not spending time with anyone. But if I then after this talk to someone else I know who is a someone, I'm spending time with someone. But you're actually saying that that's all empty too?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, totally. Yeah, of course. This is how reality is done.
Because when you've been saying in all these meetings, there isn't anyone, I thought you were just addressing there isn't someone here, but you're saying there's no one else in the meeting either?
Oh, yeah, of course. There is no one. There are no people. There is neither a me, nor me's, nor we. Yeah, of course.
I thought, okay, well, I can kind of agree there isn't anyone here, but there's some people out there, but
no, there are no humans on Earth.
I don't know what to say. Thank you. What the?
There are only monkeys. But Andreas,
Apparently.
yeah, apparently. So we are looking for something outside, but it's not there. We are sitting on it. We are maybe I'm a little bit lying on it. It's can you so it looks like we are looking yeah, how do you say that? Over it. It looks like we don't see something.
Yes. Nothing is being seen.
Nothing has been seen.
Or what? Or maybe I.
Yeah, it looks like the apparent separate people are looking over something. So
That's the distance. Yeah, in a way, they are constantly looking at something. From this position, they look at something. Yeah,
yeah,
as if there is a distance
yeah,
between me and what I see.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, and then they were seeing from. So in So when there is no separation, then there is only seeing.
But there is apparent seeing,
Apparent seeing.
but no one's aware of that. No one experiences that there is seeing going on. There's just seeing.
Mhm.
So I see you just is what apparently happens. What's wholeness?
Yeah. Mm.
Did you start earlier?
Well, I had that experience. Yeah, it's not an experience, but yeah, I don't know. So what the
All right.
fuck? Doing something like that, yeah.
All right. Okay, hello. Well, hi, Adriana.
Hello.
We didn't start early. I have to.
It's 1 o'clock my time now, so it should be.
All right, because it's 8 o'clock here now. Maybe we missed the time shift or something.
You told me it's 3 or 3:30. I remember in Argentina, which is 1 o'clock here. So I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What time is it now in Argentina? Maybe then the.
I am in Panama. I am in Panama now. Is exactly. I tell you exactly is. Oh, what is it? I don't have my phone with me, but
Wait,
it should be around 1 o'clock. Maybe 1 and 2 or 3 minutes, or maybe not even.
oh yeah, that's in Argentina. It's 3 o'clock now. Yeah.
So, and that's the time you put. I also put in the flyer that it was going to be at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I understand. So then the times changed. Maybe that's the problem, because here it's 8 o'clock now. So it was. So we started at 7:30 actually.
So we still have time. Can I ask if anybody here hay alguien aquí que habla español y necesita traducción?
I think there isn't anyone here.
No, I guess they all left. I'm so sorry. I mean, I haven't.
No,
That's all right. Maybe we just go on in English for half an hour, and then we see who shows up, and then we do in Spanish.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, all right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe it was. I didn't check it again. You know, when we did the times, I think it was the same time as last month, but I think there was the time shift in between, and we didn't think about that.
Most probably.
We had winter time in Europe. End of March was still winter time. Maybe we forgot that.
Whatever.
All
It's
right.
fine. We are out here. Nobody needs translation, so we are fine.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Andreas,
we will see who comes at half an hour.
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, please, Andreas?
Yes.
Okay. So the solution that the apparent individual is looking for never actually comes?
Yes. Never.
Okay. I don't know if that's good news or bad news. I suppose it's both, isn't it?
Well, in the end, it's not really news. It's like that all the time, but it may sound new to you.
It's news to me, yeah. The other thing I was going to ask is, I'm permanently, when I meet someone or when I'm talking to someone I know, I'm always thinking, what are they thinking? What's their agenda? Or what are they thinking of me? Do they like me? But you've said to me just previously, there isn't anyone anywhere. There's no human on this planet.
Yeah.
So when there's no longer a sense of self and there's no longer that perception that there are other people, does the whole thing drop of trying to work out what are they thinking? What's their motive?
Yeah, absolutely.
How were they thinking of me? Do they approve?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there can be a noticing out of functioning, but it's not important for someone.
And in terms of, like, you've said, obviously, thinking still arises. And you said that it sort of turns from a dialogue into a monologue.
Kind of, yeah.
As a way of putting it. So is it more just like, because my thinking is very, very, very busy with trying to work everything out. And would you say it does become a lot more quiet in the thinking mind or brain or whatever, the thinking becomes a lot?
Probably, I guess so, yes. I mean, there is no conscious thinking at all. Like trying to find an answer. It's not happening.
Like, or how can I make this happen?
Yeah, in terms of I have to think about this to come to a solution.
To get something from it, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there could be thinking of how do I make this happen? Like, I've got to book my flight, what website to go on with the cheapest prices, or the times that I need, or whatever it is, functioning, but not working it out from the perspective of I need to get something, I need to maneuver in the right way about it. And
absolutely, yes, there would just be no one doing it. No one having the experience of I think about it because in order to
I was going to ask you, so what's it like after the sense of self drops, but you can't say that, can you?
Yes.
Because you don't know, do you?
Exactly.
Do you know?
I have no clue at all what you're even speaking about. Or is it for you in liberation? What's that supposed to be?
That sounds like a very sensible question to me. Thanks.
To me, it sounds a bit like Hollywood. Okay. There's a question in the chat, actually.
In what way?
What?
In what way looks it like you like Hollywood?
Like a fairy tale. Liberation. How do you feel in liberation, Andreas? Liberation? Well, what's that?
Freedom.
Happy ever after? Or, okay. For someone like yourself, is there a distance between the house and where you are looking from? No, exactly not. There is no distance to anything. All of that is just undividedly itself. This, the looking, the house, the seeing of the house, it's just how it is. It's just what seems to be happening for no one. So there is also no one having this sentence in his or her head. Oh, this is just what apparently happened. No, it just is what happens. Looking at a house. Hey, it's blue or whatever. That's it. Nothing else.
Sorry, Andreas, can I just make a comment on that?
Yeah.
It just sounds too simple to be real.
Yes. I mean that the thing is, it simply is like that, and surprisingly, it's enough. The person still, when the person says this sounds too simple, it still has the impression that must be simple to do. But that's impossible to do. That's the impossible task. It's not easy to get. It's impossible to get. But yes, it simply is like that.
No, it's not about simple to do. What you said about it being enough, I think it sounds, you don't look at the house and you're like, oh, there's the house, it's blue. I'm thinking that's too simple. You need more.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And actually, when I say this is enough, I don't really mean that it's enough for the person. The person might hear, okay, so I should be satisfied with that. I should get an experience of this is enough, or this is what I'm supposed to be happy with. But that doesn't work. In that sense, there is never enough. Seen from the person's experience, the person can't, that's exactly the person's problem. It can't make it enough. That's what the person is constantly trying to do, to make what it experiences enough to be happy and satisfied. That never works. In that sense, seen from the person, it's never enough. But it's an utter surprise that when there is no one, it is just everything and whole and complete.
You've really hammered the nail in properly there. Do you know?
Thank you. Today you're really
Right.
on my side. So to speak. Thank you. Yeah.
You've just absolutely, yeah, brilliant. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm good today.
Bravo, Andreas. Go on, go on, go on.
Come on. Okay, Johannes.
Hi, Andreas.
Hello.
There is nobody coming to the Zoom meetings, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Already.
Oh yeah, there's no one here. Absolutely.
There's nobody choosing to come here.
There's also no one chose to come here or not. Absolutely. No one is here. There is no one. That's the dream.
The dream is that I then make the decision to come here.
That I'm now here is the dream.
Yeah.
And
That's a
out of
dream
that,
already.
maybe the assumption that I decided to come here. Yeah.
And what happened already is within the illusion to come here to find a solution or something, it's also what's happened. For no
One
one.
could say so, yes. You assuming you are someone, having chosen to come here because it might be worthwhile, that assumption is also what happens, apparently. Yeah.
But in the end, it not happen.
In the end, it's wholeness already. It's not something that happens for someone. Yeah, it's just what seems to be happening. And it's
So-
already whole and complete, and it doesn't need any kind of change. It wouldn't be more whole when this assumption wouldn't be happening. It would be just equally whole and complete. That's it already. Can't be understood, but it's, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So Andreas, I'll try another one of this word massage.
Yeah.
So would you agree free will is the same as awareness? There's always both or neither.
What do you mean?
I mean, if there is someone having the impression of having a free will, that means there is awareness, obviously.
Yes.
So if there is awareness, there is also the illusion of the free will coming with that.
Automatically, yeah, at least to some degree.
To some degree.
I'm an autonomous being, and the assumption is that I can do things to a certain extent. Not everything, of course, but there's always a dance between things happening to me and some things I can do.
Exactly, and that is the separation. There is two different parts of the what is happening.
Exactly. Yes.
So because I found out a new expression, you could say instead of free will, you could say a separate will.
Yes.
You know, that I have. It's not just something that's going on for some reason, but there is a separate will. It's my will, and that is the same as free will, right?
Yeah, one could say so. Yeah.
And
I mean,
Separation means consciousness in your way. I mean, experiencing. I mean, yeah. Separation. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, it's a neat package, but it's not possible to understand it, of course. But
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. One could also say apparently there is free will, but there is no one who could follow it. Will is already free to be itself. It's just what apparently happens. But
yeah, that's kind of like God's free will, the one will of the whole thing. Is it that what you mean?
Well, no, not really. What I meant is you wishing for whatever you wish just is what apparently happens, and it's exactly free to be like that. But there isn't a real entity who could choose to follow that will.
Yeah, okay. So like a kind of an illusion. Well, anyway, maybe we're going too far with the words. I leave it.
Yeah.
Hello, Andreas. This message makes me, in one moment, makes me very happy, and in the next moment, I'm getting so bored and also annoyed, and then it's very quickly flipping.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So sometimes it sounds so much like a trick, I think, I know what Andreas has this. Has trained this also. Has a very this trick, this. and then there are a moment like Wednesday, you said, and nothing has ever happened, and it hit me so strongly. It was so great, and now when I come to the meeting, I try to get that again. I want to have this wonderful meeting.
and I'm just not delivering. I'm just not delivering today.
No, and then I try to use it as a mantra, to repeat the sentence that was hitting me so much in that moment, like, oh, nothing has ever happened, and doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
But it's also at the same time, it is. It's not frustrating. It's just very. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these are true in a way. So in a way, there's a resonance that is. Doesn't matter if it is working. I mean, it's neither not working or working. It's just,
exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the surprise in the end, that there is no predictable outcome. It's not interested in any outcomes that everyone feels happy afterwards, or that it should be entertaining or whatever. There's just absolutely no intention, and it's not predictable how one feels. But on the other hand, it becomes well, what's in the air is that it completely doesn't matter. It is what it is anyway, and it's just naturally whole, but not in the sense that the person would hope for, that it feels in a certain sense that I get certain experiences or feelings or stuff.
It's strange how this works. That it's so quickly I turn into a junkie. I mean, there is just a piece or something like. I mean this, and then it's not peace, but it's.
I mean,
I want to have it. I want to have it, or keep it, or.
I mean, in a way, the junkie is already there, so to speak, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently. And my
Can I
long
ask a
road,
question?
yeah, just
Oh,
the long
sorry.
road. There is neither outside nor inside. Just couldn't be known. Yes, absolutely. Yes. All right, William.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask was, I don't know if this is like, I was watching a video of Tony either earlier today or yesterday. It's an old video, so I don't know if he'd still say this, but he says when the sense of self collapses, all that's left is nothing, and in that is just the joy of aliveness, or the joy of life, or whatever. I've got no idea what he meant. It was a very old video, but I was wondering to myself, I just kept thinking, where is this joy coming from? I can't see it, but so what I wanted to ask is, the joy he's talking about, is that from that no longer having that sense that this isn't enough?
Well, yeah, it's just hard to say because there isn't really joy as an experienced thing, but in a way it just seems to be the natural reality, wholeness, harmony, everything being fine in its own way. Well, it's not logical, I can't explain that. It's also not really a sense of goodness or stuff, that it's totally good or great or something, but
Because I didn't assume it was joy as an experience. I kind of, when everything's enough and there's no need to get to an outcome or get to the agenda, because everything's already, not that there's someone there knowing that it's enough, but there's nothing missing that needs to be completed. I mean, all I can sort of think back to is what was sort of recognized in the glimpses. Obviously, at the time, it wasn't seen or known, but looking back when the me came back, that freedom, what you said just earlier to me about the simplicity being enough, that's the whole, I think the whole root of the problem for the individual is the starting point is this isn't it, or this isn't enough yet. It's still got to become, because this whole sense that this has to become something comes from it's not completed yet.
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And I can feel it resonating strongly listening to this, just the completion you're speaking of. But then I want to know that it's going to stay like that and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. You want to own it.
So it doesn't matter if I live or die.
Yes, absolutely.
Because there's no one really there to begin with, is there? So
yeah, there's no one really alive in the first place. Yeah. Yeah. That's the good news.
I'm sorry to ask this, but I still don't get how everything can be wholeness.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
But
I mean, the thing is, it can't be gotten. And when I say this, the person already goes into a concept saying, aha, okay, all that I can think of is supposed to be wholeness. Mm-hmm. But then it's already imagining some huge universe existence where it needs to think its way through, okay, war is also wholeness. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if someone is mean, this is also wholeness. And if I feel bad, this is also wholeness. Oh dear, how can I ever get that? But that's totally unnecessary to regard something as wholeness. What apparently happens is just naturally whole. No one needs to know this, and it's not something that someone needs to think about. This I also have to include into this wholeness. This aspect too, I have to see that it's whole. That's totally unnecessary.
What you're saying is there's just this.
And surprisingly, it's automatically whole, but not for anyone. There isn't even someone knowing what this would mean, that it's whole and complete. In the end, it doesn't even matter.
What's gorgeous as well about what you're describing is that it doesn't involve any kind of practice, because there's just what appears. So it's not someone having to accept this and then accept the next moment and then accept the
not at all. Oh no, this is not a single bit. No.
Great.
And there's not this concept, all there is wholeness, and in a big sense or as a general rule, or it can't be comprehended or processed at all. And in a way, it's just a surprise. As a story, one could say it's actually a constant surprise, because there is no one who knows that. It's not expected. It's it's constant. Well, I shouldn't say this, but it's constantly newly whole and complete. Surprisingly, it's never known. It's never expected.
And that just simply cannot be made sense out of by the one who wants to know it.
Absolutely, yes.
I still feel jealous that I'm not having. I was going to say having your experience. I don't want to.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Mercilessly free and whole. Yes, absolutely. There's no mercy. It's just this. Totally.
Andreas.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
What do you mean when you say this? Because what you're also saying is there's nothing happening at all. So when you say this, I sort of feel that you're referring to, I know you don't mean the present moment, but like I feel like whatever's happening, like the view, the feelings, etc., etc. So it does make it into a something.
Yes, I know.
When you say this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So what do you mean this when you say that? They're just this.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. There is no this.
So why do you say this?
Because it is this. Yeah.
Because you're saying this conversation is not even happening. If you say there's absolutely nothing, there's not even a conversation.
That's the thing. While it happens, it's not real. Actually, when I say it's nothing, I actually mean it's nothing real. It's nothing and something simultaneously, but this is totally ungraspable. And that's what can't be gotten, that sitting in front of a screen, exactly what seems to be happening, this, so to speak, is no thing, is not something that happens.
Like it's a complete dream, like a nighttime dream.
That this is something is the dream. Not having this conversation and breathing and thinking and looking to a screen, this is not a dream. The dream is to be separate from that, only experiencing it to be something that happens. That is the dream. But this is the natural reality, speaking and laughing and asking and answering, and that's not an illusion. That's the natural reality. That's what seems to be going on.
So the illusion is there's separate people that involved in this.
Say again, please.
Yeah, I mean, like the illusion is that there are separate people, individuals who this is happening to. Like right now in this conversation, there are two people. That's the illusion.
Yes, that there is me, one people, and that there are other people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's only happening because there's some sort of contraction with some bodies where they feel that they're separate people. That's the only thing that's creating the illusion.
So to speak, that itself is the illusion. It's not that there is this presence, this energy, and out of that an illusion is created. That sense of presence is the illusion.
And that sense of presence labels things as suffering or unwanted or whatever. Otherwise, there's no label to anything what's happening.
Absolutely, yes. And in a way, the experience to be present itself is kind of a labeling. It's an experiential labeling. I'm something, I'm real. And then I tell maybe myself, and then this seems to invent a story about itself. I'm awareness, I'm a person, I'm a soul. But the experience to be present is the separation already. Automatically.
Okay. It's strange because it goes a certain way, like with just like a lot of things spring out from just this sense of contraction. It seems like there's preferences born out of it. You like then there's an experience of being a person. So it goes in a certain way, like it seems like very systematic. Like as soon as there's contraction, it doesn't seem, what I'm trying to say maybe is it's not random, because it whoever is contracted, they behave in a certain way. So it's just strange how it happens, because there's so much verification you like me as a person can get from the outside world. Oh, of course this is like that, of course things are real, of course you got to earn money or whatever.
But it would,
So
but
it doesn't seem that.
Yeah, but it's only the person doing that. In the end, nothing is confirming the person. I know what you mean, and it really seems like that. The problem is that wherever the person looks, it only sees itself. Wherever the person looks, it only sees until the edge of its experiential reality, so to speak. It always scratching at its own border. It's setting the border by being separate, and whatever it experiences, it scratches at its own border. So of course, wherever the person looks, it only sees itself, which means it only sees proof for separation, for things being real, for separation.
So my boss asking me to come to office is my projection that it's real. It doesn't have any objective reality of confirming that they're separate people.
Yes,
whatever.
there is no boss. That's free.
But like
Sorry.
No, but from the other end, like obviously the like whoever I'm interacting with, they themselves also think that they're a person. But you're saying that also is a projection, and or what?
Well, no, maybe that's what seems to be going on, that he or she thinks that he is someone, of course. But of course there isn't anyone. Your boss is no one. But maybe don't tell him on Monday. But
Yeah, it'll be become a problem.
or maybe he should know. I don't know. But oh yes, of course, there is no one. Yeah.
Yeah, because with absolute no recognition of there being a someone, then any sort of suffering can take place, because there's nobody recognizing outside of that person's experience that person even exists.
Yes.
Yeah, so then any sort of which is a bit scary, because then you feel like, oh, there's some sort of it can't get that worse. But then if there's absolutely no recognition of the individual person, then anything can happen.
Absolutely. I mean, anything can happen already, but the person lives in this artificial security that I could do something about it. or I'm already doing something about it. The
Yeah.
person thinks that many of the really bad things haven't happened because I was there controlling it already. And I already gained a certain amount of happiness and contentment because I'm consciously working on my happiness my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that's seen from the person, the scary part. If I'm not there anymore, who would do something when it goes really wrong? Oh, totally. And yeah, anything could happen. And in that sense, there is no security or safety from the things that the person would regard as suffering or as no-goes. Of course, yeah. There's no guarantee for anything.
Or the person can even rely on on a higher power or whatever to be protecting it, or some sort of benevolent existence that is preventing really bad things from happening.
Yeah, but still oneself plays a role in that. Namely, one has to believe in that higher power, or one have to act according to the higher power's will. But yeah, in that sense, the idea of a higher power is just the assumption of there being me in big, another personalized energy that takes care in the same way that I would take care if I would be big enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
But I don't see how an individual could not. So while the individual is there, how can an individual live with this sort of like, it's very unnerving or very unsettling to know that there's no free will, there's no higher power, you yourself can't do anything, and anything can happen. So it's sort of very unsettling for a person.
Totally. Oh, it's scary and weird for the person. Totally. Very scary. Because I mean the person was so relying on its possibility to act. Even even those ideas, I mean, not that it's conscious, but even those ideas, well, in the end, I'm there to accept it. Or I'm there to pray to God or something like that.
Yeah.
This already gives some security in a way. The possibility to control. Yeah. And it doesn't exist. There is no control at all. And that safety that the person is looking for, real safety in a real world, safety about circumstances and stuff that just don't exist. Because there is no real world in the first place.
So actually, then the person, while it hears this message, if they're there, they actually like become worse off, because before that they're hanging on to something, some sort of hope or whatever, but now there's actually nothing they can a person can hang on to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Yes. Thank you.
Andreas, can I ask something, please?
Yes, please.
So, at the moment, I know I don't know how this will sound. I feel like I'm a person, and I believe there's a real story going on of me attending Zoom meetings and asking questions and listening and blah 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 blah, moving through time. Hopefully getting to a point in time where I won't be there, and then I'll know that I'm no longer there, and I'll still live in time as no one, whatever.
Yeah.
When the whole sense of being a person collapses, even though there could still be a memory of seeking and going to Zoom meetings and talking to you and whoever, if somebody asked me, oh, you used to go to Zoom meetings with Andreas, then there could be a memory like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. But there'd be no sense of that story really happened or took place.
Yes, absolutely. Totally. Yes. It collapses completely. This life never happened.
Fuck. The life never happened.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes. It's a dream.
What?
What should I say? Honestly, yes. Yeah.
what can I ask to that? Nothing.
Oh yeah, who would ask something? Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Anita.
So life never happened.
Yes, the experience to be alive never happens. Apparently life is happening, breathing, thinking, walking around, but there's no experience of it. Yeah.
But it's apparently.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also it's there and it's not there.
Yes. Apparently sitting in front of a screen is there and it's not there. Yeah. That's the natural reality. Sitting in front of a screen, being there and not there.
Yeah, so form and formless are simultaneously.
Yeah, exactly. That's just how it apparently is. That's all. Yeah. Nothing deeper, nothing behind it, nothing around it. Well, that's just all there is.
Mm.
It's this.
That. But there's still a me.
Well, apparently not really, of course.
No,
There isn't anyone.
Yeah. It's more like when a person is how you say that? It's when you think it's the owner of a situation or whatever, then it's more in a person, but in reality, nothing is personally.
Yes, absolutely. Even this impression to be someone experiencing a situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but it's a kind of behave to make it personally.
Automatically, the moment there is an experience or the illusion of an experience, it seems to be happening to me.
Yeah.
It's automatic. It's not even really a process that could be stopped, or the person could learn to stop that. I mean, there is this movement about not taking things personally, but even to just experiencing this is taking it personally. I'm aware of this is happening, so this seems to happen for me, by me, through me. That's kind of already owning it in some way.
It's all about me.
So to speak. Energetically already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's really nothing to do.
Yes. Nothing, not a single bit.
No.
It's this. There is no one doing anything already.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andreas, can I ask another question?
One moment, William. Just Adriana, I'm just to let you know, no one came who needs the Spanish translation. No one checked in now at past whatever time, half past whatever. So we just go on like that. Yeah, I don't. You have to turn on the microphone. I couldn't hear you.
Sorry. I was saying that only Gloria came in at the time of that was on the flyer. So
exactly, but she English.
She's English, yeah.
So yeah.
She's from Argentina, but anyway. So well, that's it.
That's it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you anyway.
Okay.
But I can let you know that I finished the layout of the book, and I just gave the instructions to the guy who makes the cover. And when I have the cover in the next 2 or 3, 4 or 5 days, I will send it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So in case anyone has a friend that speaks Spanish, there's going to be you will never be free in Spanish.
Exactly. Adriana did a translation of the whole book, and we wanted to happily announce it today, but well, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, William, you wanted to say
So what I wanted to ask was, you said to me, this life never happened.
Yes.
The person holds on to these collection of experiences of my successes, my victories, or at least I do. I can't talk, but these are my victories, these are my successes, and these are the things I should have done better. I should have known better. That shouldn't have happened. I should have done something else. Why does the person need to hold on to all of this collection of experiences? It can't let it go. Like, it really, sorry, I'll let you answer.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is no real answer to why it exactly is like that, but it just seems to be that it's just the person's collection. It's
So
like,
the person
something that it
is,
has, and
so the person is that collection of experiences, would you say?
well, at least that's what it believes to be. Yes, my life. I'm the result of this moment. I mean, there's also this saying, I mean, everything that I experienced brought me here. But that is, in a way, this collection of my life led to something, to this moment.
Because even I had a story why I'm at these non-duality Zoom meetings, because I was seeking in this and that, and then it was seen as empty and blah, blah, blah. That can't be backed up by anything. There's just this apparent thing happening, whatever it is, speaking, listening, answers, etc. But there's still a subtle hope or sense that this is leading somewhere.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, as long as there is someone, there's just this impression that it's happening now, and that it already came from somewhere, from the moment before, and that it will lead somewhere. Yep.
It's a little bit like what you said to Zoe. I really liked it about like the person wanting that need for control, because it's scary to think that if it wasn't here, it wouldn't be able to make things go right. And what if things went wrong and I wasn't here to control it? And that's because that's the fear that's arising now is, well, if I'm not here, then like, I think I'm here now, but if I'm not here in the future, who will control things and prevent the bad from happening and make the things go right?
Yeah.
And
who will take care about me becoming liberated? who will take care about that?
But that would be liberation if there was no one there doing it.
Yes, of course, but the person thinks I have to be here in order to take care that it'll happen.
It's just completely hopeless, everything.
Absolutely, totally.
But not hope.
That's the freedom.
It's not hopeless as the opposite of hope. Like, okay, there's this good thing which is hope, but this is hopeless, which is dreadful.
It's free. It's free of hope.
Hope free.
It's free from the burden of hope.
Burden of needing it.
Yeah. Free from the burden of needing the hope for something better. That's the prison.
This is completely stunning what you're saying. Like, it really is stunning. And at the same time, I'm thinking, how could the seeking just apparently stop or no longer appear and then just not come back at all?
Yeah.
Because every time I haven't had a glimpse, but every time there's been a glimpse, there's been a coming back. And I'm thinking, how could that thing just, that contracted sense of being someone just never return?
Yeah.
And you're saying it's already just an appearance anyway, so it's not a real thing that drops away.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's just in imagine. I mean, it can't be imagined when how it is, how it really is. It can't be imagined, but in a way, it's also difficult for the person because it still kind of assumes itself to be there. So it's really hard to imagine how it's supposed to be, you know, when I wouldn't wake up in the next morning, but somehow still life goes on. So that's.
I know I've said this to you before, but this has been seen in the glimpses. Obviously, there wasn't any recognition in the glimpse. What was happening? It was afterwards. It's like, oh my God, that's it. More like, but yeah, every time the me's there, it can't imagine life going on without it. Yeah, well, you've just said it, haven't you? Thanks, Andreas.
Thank you. There's just I make just this comment. The next book could be a best of Andreas' answers to William. Would be
no one
know.
wants to read that shit.
Well, I think we quite cover it all, so it might not be bad actually.
They might like the bits of your dialogue.
Well, we would keep yours short, of course. I mean, yeah.
Edit it.
We would certainly do that, but
Andreas?
Wait, I think Anita was waiting. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, from whole, nothing has to be done, nothing has to be fixed. It's all just apparently it's everything is wholeness. So also childish behavior.
Yes.
Yes, and running away and being scared and running away and because
Yes.
that looks sometimes more like a yeah, the flight mechanism of the brain than it's.
Well, that's what seems to be happening.
That's what seems to be happening. So that's also.
There's
Yeah.
nothing else really.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, nothing matters.
Yeah. For me, it's you know a few years ago I felt that nothing matters, but the last few years it's different. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what we speak about isn't really an experience of nothing matters. I mean, I had a lot of that experience that nothing matters between 15 and 25, let's say. There was a lot of nothing matters in my life as well. But, well, in that sense, this doesn't. This is not referring to an experience. Nothing matters.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But this is not a feeling or an experience or a sense of nothing matters.
No, it's really
more total.
Yeah.
Nothing matters.
Yeah, nothing. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Andreas.
Yes.
So a person can, you just said that hopelessness is freedom, that's the freedom, but a person cannot truly give up hope till the last day.
Yes.
It's simply not possible, right?
Exactly. So the person apparently is hopelessly lost in hoping for something. Yes. Yeah.
So it can't give up seeking, it can't give up hope. It might lessen or whatever, but there still would be some sort of.
Yes.
So what I want to understand is that Tony says that, you know, and some of the other speakers as well, that if, for example, if you keep on waiting, you'd be waiting forever. So what does that mean? Because obviously, while the person is there, even like whatever, but it's gonna wait, it's gonna expect. So What does it mean? Because that's never going to change.
Well, in a way, this whole setup isn't real. So one could say, in the end, it's not really changing by that. It just means that the person somehow gives some value to whatever it does or doesn't do, like waiting for something or meditating. But that's just not. I mean, the thing is that even this idea, well, now I just wait until it comes. No, it will never come. You know, there is no connection between doing a method, and waiting in that sense would be a method, and it coming. It will never come.
But from the parent story, it does come for some people. Like, for example, when Andreas was there, if I were to say, okay,
Yeah, but apparently it happened because the one who was waiting just died, but not because I was waiting until it happened.
it seems like a direct instruction to the one who is waiting to stop waiting.
I see, that's
when
not.
You said
No.
It's not?
No, because how
Yeah,
could
you
stop
can't stop.
waiting?
Yeah, I can't stop waiting.
Yeah, it's just the pointing that this story that, oh, then I just have to wait until it happens. If that's the conclusion of the person, this moment that when it will happen will never come. The person will only ever experience, I'm waiting for it to come. But what the person thinks of some point it will come, that will never happen. This moment that the person is hoping for or assuming to come, this will never come. Or the person will know this, well, I'm waiting until it comes.
So then you could say that this message is not for the person anyway, right? It's not for the
Not
person.
at all. It doesn't recognize a person.
So then in wholeness, there is no separation. How come wholeness, who is wholeness speaking to if it's not the person? Because
Oh, it's
there
not
is no.
speaking to anything, because the speaking is wholeness. Not coming from a certain position, not trying to go to another position. I'm not here speaking to you. The speaking is it. For nothing, for no reason. It's whole and complete already. It doesn't have a
But
direction even.
it is dismantling the assumptions and assumptions of the me. Seems like it.
Apparently, maybe. I don't know. I don't care. It's just what seems to be happening. I'm neither doing it, nor can I prevent it. I mean, there isn't anyone.
So there is no logic or purpose or anything of these meetings.
Not a single bit. Well, to be honest, it doesn't end when the meeting ends, but yes.
What do you mean? It doesn't end when the meeting ends?
Well, when the meeting ends and you get up and tell to your boss that you won't come on Monday, this will be as illogical and empty and not going anywhere as this is.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just
So it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing.
exactly. It's all the same no thing. I just meant it's not that this is especially illogical and useless. That's the natural reality. It's always like this, so to speak. It's always impersonal and not for anyone and not done by anyone.
Okay. It sort of seems a bit boring when you don't have to go anywhere, nothing matters from an individual perspective, because you want to go somewhere, you're going to do things, get somewhere in life. So all of that is just, if you say that it's not there, it doesn't mean anything. So it's
Exactly, because those were all the things that were distracting the person from its sense of unfulfillment. Because it's all coming, all those things, that I'm on a path, that this is worthwhile, that I'm going somewhere. It's actually all distracting from this instantaneous sense of, well, this isn't it. Well, if this is not going anywhere, if this is useless, if this is stuff like that, then, well, that's a bit boring. This can't be it. It feels immediately, well, then something is missing. Which is basically the person's experience. This can't be it. And the assumption that this is a path, that this is a step on my path, makes it okay. That's the method. Well, I'm here. When I'm here to get something, this meeting is totally fine. Then it's good that I'm here. Then I can accept it. Then it's good. But for no reason, I'm supposed to be here to listen to this for no reason. It won't help me. It won't give me anything. Sorry, that's not what I'm here for.
Exactly.
That's the person's experience. In the end, wherever it is. Also, not just here. That's why this assumption of there being a path and the hope that it leads somewhere is kind of a method to make this moment acceptable. That's a method already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. It's not real. It's not real. It doesn't matter.
Andreas, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, I also want to do the rest of the chat, by the way. But yes.
Okay, great. You were just saying to Zoe before that he was saying that listening to this communication seems like it's dismantling the me, something like that, and you were saying you don't do it and you don't care.
Yeah.
When you said you don't care, so you're indifferent whether seeking carries on in a apparently for or not.
Well, I don't even recognize it to be true. That's not taking place for me, that there is a hidden principle or dynamic going on of dismantling the me. I know it seems to be happening apparently, but it's not real on the one hand, and it's not what this is about.
So
What
similarly,
I'm trying to do, not a single bit. This whole story doesn't happen for me.
say if somebody phones you up or gets on Zoom and says, I've been coming to meetings for how many years, and what you've been saying to me was always been overlooked, but now it's so obvious, or whatever. Like basically the me's dropped. You never saw a person for those years talking to you actually suffering.
Yes, exactly. Yes, of course. It's a dream. There is no one suffering. There is no one separate now here. That's the dream. And I know this illusion is going on, and apparently there is suffering and all that stuff, but it's all wholeness. I'm not trying to talk it away, or it's exactly what it is. But sorry, there isn't anyone.
That's it, because it's not happening to someone, right? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, there's also no hidden hope or hidden agenda or thinking that this would help you when I say that there is no you and stuff like that. No, it's just whole and complete, being exactly what it is. There is no agenda at all. That just isn't. And I don't think that that's better or another hidden method or something. No, there's just no, this is it.
So you don't need a result either for you or for anyone else.
Absolutely, yes.
And that takes all the pressure, because the person's either trying to get something for themselves or make something happen for someone else.
Well, yeah, the person would say it was only worthwhile to be here when I get something back. If not, it would be wasted lifetime and I should have been somewhere else. That's the only, again, that's the only idea which makes this event acceptable or turns it even good. Well, I do get something here.
Yeah.
Without that, well, it was wrong. If this doesn't give me anything, this event was definitely wrong. I shouldn't have been somewhere else. I should have done something much, much better.
But that is such a burden, trying to manage your time to spend it on the right things.
Of course. Oh yeah, of course. That's the person's idea, that I have to manage my life and that I can do it right or wrong. Oh, that's the constant burden. That's the artificial struggle. And in order to know that and to notice that, you have to be aware and check again and again. Do I get something from this? Am I happy? Is this giving me something? Is this right? Is this wrong? It's good that I'm here. Should I do something else? Would it be better if I'm not there? What, all this stuff, that is the artificial struggle that the person is constantly living in.
Yes, like a constant reassessing and reevaluating of your path. Do I need to change direction, or should I carry on, or blah, blah, blah?
Whatever, yeah.
What does it all mean? Great.
Yeah, in all varieties, so to speak.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing meeting as well. Just incredible.
Thank you. Hitesh, I wanted to read your comment actually also, but do you want to say something?
Yeah, please go ahead, read the comment, and then I just
All
add
right.
on to that.
Okay. So I read first the comment? Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Death of me is simply the death of hope that anything is going to change. Death of hope that something needs to drop. Something needs to drop is a fairy tale. Yes, in a way it's the dropping of the hope, but by turning out that there is no one. That's the thing. It's not the dropping of the hope for someone. It's not the person somehow understanding that nothing will happen and accepting it and not hoping for it anymore. It can't be learned in that sense. But when it turns out that there just isn't anyone, this whole artificial reality turns out to be illusory. And then automatically there can't be hope. Because what would you hope for? There isn't anything else left that one could hope for.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say to that was that someone and hope are the same thing, right?
They go together. They seem to go together. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes, I had these experiences where it seems that there is no me, there is just wholeness. But then it seemed that me came back. And now what it seems to me is that me never came back, but the belief in me came back. Actually, there is just wholeness. So even the first glimpse showed that how it's like. It was just over then. So when I assumed that me has come back, it was not me that had come back, it's the belief in me that had come back. And that belief was the me. And now if I hope that someday me and being will stop, it's never going to stop because that belief is the me.
Yes, one could say so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, after an awakening, or when there was a hole in the person's experience, it can be quite wild afterwards. Well, one could say maybe that's what you mean. In a way, it can happen that the sense of me is a bit, I call it sometimes, it's like unrooted. So sometimes it's impossible to go back to really being me. That's maybe what you mean, that afterwards there wasn't really you back, but just some belief, some personal belief and stuff like that, which I would call still the me, but it can feel quite unrooted and quite different to before there was a hole in the story. Okay, one thing. Okay, last comment. This is and isn't. Can you comment a bit? Thanks. Well, yeah. Well, no one knows this, so you can't. It can't be explained. That's just how it seems to be. But it's not. It just can't be gotten or understood. how there is sitting in front of a screen and how it simultaneously isn't, and all of that for no one. It's basically saying too much. This is and isn't. I mean, there's just no recognition of that. It's not coming, it's just coming out, but it's not coming from any kind of seeing or logic, stuff like that. But in a way, this is the miracle. How can there be sitting in front of a screen without it happening? Sorry, that's as good as it gets. All right, I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining the Spanish translated meeting, which unfortunately didn't happen in Spanish. There is no message, there is no right or wrong, there's nothing to do and nothing to not do. So there's just what apparently happens, and it's naturally whole and complete, exactly as it is. Thank you very much for joining. And thank you very much, Adriana. Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Andreas.
Thank you, Andreas. Thank you, Adriana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Noches.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.